Let me ask you a question this morning as we start. How many of you have really been excited about something? Anybody?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
You opened that box of Special K and you just went crazy, didn't you? You know, I never saw anybody so excited, including myself, as I was back in college. Remember those days, University of Florida, game day, ho, ho, ho. Dusty's got that pig on the barbecue, and all the guys are hanging out, and all the girls are coming over, all the little sisters. I grabbed one of those. And, game day. And there you're playing Georgia or somebody. Oh, you just hate them and they hate you and everybody hates everybody. And you get into that stadium and it's just pandemonium, mass craziness, insanity. Actually, I got the fraternity. We all put oranges in our pockets so that when they did the orange and blue cheer, those cheerleaders, I hated that. Oh, you're the big orange. You're the big blue. Okay, orange. And they wanted you to yell that. Well, when we yelled orange, we all heaved oranges out. Like hundreds of oranges from the fraternity were coming out. I had nothing to do with that. Anyway, they were picking oranges up off the field forever. We just don't get that excited anymore, do we? I remember in seminary, in my freshman preaching class, believe it or not, they have a freshman preaching class. And the professor in charge of it was a guy named Charles Killian, Chuck Killian. And he was a loose cannon of professors. He did not toe the line or follow by the book or nothing. He was a nut. And it's probably why he and I got along so well together. But, you know, he would give you a scripture and you'd have to write a sermon. Then you'd have to, in a day or two, present that sermon before the class. And then everybody would critique you, see if you were any good or not. And by the way, you were never any good. And Chuck would do some of the craziest things. So there'd be a guy up there preaching and he says, and remember, no man is an island. And you can see Professor Chuck Killian, he's getting crazy. He goes, no man's an island. No man's a pizza either. What the heck does that mean? And, you know, that just, you're a brand new preacher trying to make a point, and it would just crush these guys. And I remember this one time he got up there and this guy was really putting in it. You know, I mean, he was pounding the pulpit and saying all the right cliche things. And Chuck just goes, help me, help me. He fell down on his knees, help me, help me. In the middle of the aisle, in the middle of the class, and everybody's going, what's wrong with you? And he says, I'm drowning in a sea of mediocrity. Help me! I'm just so bored. And I'm sitting there going, I like this guy. I'm going to take every one of his classes. I don't know who he is, but he's a whack job. I like him. Which is probably why I am the way I am.
That's good.
Nobody's excited about anything anymore. I mean, it's just like, oh well, whatever. Worst word ever coined. Whatever. When you get to heaven, don't say that. God says, hey, welcome to heaven. Whatever. Bad idea. And the last thing you want to say is, holy cow. That doesn't work either. Aggravates him. Here's a soldier. Do you ever hear the story, this scripture this morning? It's a centurion. The centurion was over, 100 guys. He was like a drill sergeant, if you will, today. And he had 100 guys under him, and he was in charge of these guys. And the centurions were a hardened, battle-worthy, blooded, tested soldiers. And they were put in positions of authority over the younger soldiers to teach them how to be good fighters, unafraid, and most importantly, excited about being a soldier. But most centurions, as they were mean and ugly and hard and tough, this one, on the other hand, was kind. And he was gentle. And we're going to talk about this centurion today because he was excited in different ways that I think we as Christians have forgotten or at least neglected. We're going to talk about that a little bit this morning. And I'll continue the story in a moment. First, I want you to stand up one final time. We're going to sing one of my favorite songs as far as the patriotic stuff goes, 690, America.